Okay, this is a mini film I'm doing on this chair, as there's a number of little things that I want to point out to you. One of them is this back, and it looks really plush. Put your hand against it and there's resistance. There's a major problem with this back, and it should have been sorted out absolutely years ago. This is the problem. When anybody sits down, they will be pushing out the back of the chair, which shouldn't happen. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of springs, and each row of the springs should have webbing on it going down, and then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. 1. Well, that's weird, because there seems to be one missing there. 2, 3, 4, 5 springs on the back, which should equate to 5 stretches of webbing on the back as well. So you have to understand this was done when it was originally made. So the guys who originally put it together skimped on it, and it looked perfect because everything was pulled tight in. But the bad thing is, subsequent upholsterers knew about this and they didn't do anything about it, and it should have been corrected years ago. These springs are now in at wonky angles. I mean, this one comes out, that goes in because of where the strap is. So I'm going to show you, with a bit of luck, how to put this back in. I'm laughing because there's 2 ways of doing it, but I've got a horrible feeling that the way I've got to do it is take the whole lot out and start again, which I'm not that happy about because I didn't charge for that. But anyway, we've got a video out of it though, and that's the main thing. I've got a teaching video. Now I've taken the top cover off, and they had layers of this cotton batting on. So now I've got to see if I can remove all of this in one piece without disturbing it too much. And this is critical because I'm going to put this back on, and it takes a bit of searching. It should just be laid on there. It should actually be sewn on, but everything is so old that it's going to take me a little while to work out precisely how to take this off. See, as I lift this up, you can see where it should go, and this fabric's just falling apart. So I'm going to just try to work out how to get this off, and then I'll put it in a big black bag so I can save it to put back on. Oh my gosh, this is not good. I've got that end. Now I've got to work on the top end. It seems to be kept in somehow. I'm going to work this one out. This is going to take a bit longer to do, but do it carefully and cautiously so you can put it back on. Now, having carefully removed the top, this is what I'm left with. And I'm going to peer, because this has been sewn in here. I need to investigate how they did this so that I can do it exactly the same way. I've done seat backs before, I've done springs before, but each time I learned something new. So I'm going to release this. Oh, there's some huge tacks in here. They're about 1 inch long. These are the size tacks I'm taking out, and if I stand on that it's going to hurt, so I'm going to be real careful as I pull all of this apart to see what's in there. Now all that's left is to remove the rest of this back so I can install the new one. I'm going to carefully do that, as I've got to do the new webbing under there too. There's 4 rows of springs to go in, so I need them. He's not helping today very much, so I actually need them to go along here because that's where the center is. So I'm just going to measure along here. So 9 is the center of here, and then 4.5 would be center there. Move that over. 4.5 is the center here. So each one of the webs have to come in between those points. Now if Fat Butt will move, which he probably won't because he's already bitten me today because I was irritating him. He's not been very good today. He will not leave me alone. So anyway, I'm going to do the same thing along here. I'm going to measure along, and it's actually the same width. So mark your 9, your halfway mark, 4.5 there, and then 4.5 here. So those are the ones I'm really interested in at the moment. With a bit of luck, he'll leave. I've stapled it along here. I'm just going to fold this over and then staple that shut over it. Now usually I would use my web stretcher for this end, but I'm not going to, and the reason is I'm going to have to stretch webs acrossways, and it is going to alter the way this goes in. So I'm just going to pull it down as hard as I can, and I'm going to just staple along here. Cut that back and then fold that over the staples like that and staple it shut. So I'm going to test it to see that it sounds more or less the same. I'm also putting each one in between the marks that I've put in. So I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to just pop that in. I'm going to secure it around about there. See how that goes. Fold it over and secure it. Now again, usually I would use my web stretcher to pull this into place, but it has to be able to move with that, so I'm not going to this time. I'm going to just pop this down here, pulling it as tight as I can, and again fold it over and secure it in place. Now I'm going to weave this the other way like this to this end, and I can fit 3 webs along just here, so I'm going to put them quite close together. Now the last one, I'm actually going to go over the top like this and just pull it in. The reason is I'm not going to go any further down because there's a cushion that goes here, probably to about there. And for the most part, when people lean back, it's this part of their back that's really resting. So it should help pull everything in. This is the last one. It's just kind of rounded this for me without being too much, but this is now a lot firmer because of all this being taken in. Now on this corner, to just pull it in so it's as close to 0 as I can get it there, and just secure that too. Then work your way around and bring this in as smoothly as you can and secure. And the same on this side, so I'm going to just pop that in here. This is how it looks now that it's all put together. You can see where all of the circles are from the top of the springs. I've pulled it in as evenly as possible all the way around, so it gives it a nice arch this way and a nice arch that way. I dare say it could be better, but I'm really not sure. Maybe I'll have a look at it in the morning light and choose to pull it in a little bit more there, but I'll have a look at it tomorrow. So I'm pleased with that. Ease this original back into place. With a bit of luck, not disturb it too much, and smush it back into that side. Push that down. I think we'll be okay. Kind of smush that out at the top there. The whole idea is that it goes back exactly, or more or less exactly where it is, but I have to remember I've resprung the back of the chair, which means that it's not going to be quite where it had been before, but I think that'll be fine. Now I'm going to just clip there, like that, and there along the back. And I might just I can pull that up a little bit, and I'm going to cut about an inch and a half out. Push that down into there so it comes at the back, and I'll do the same on the other side and push that also into place on the other side. And I'm going to staple that hard down until I get to just the inside of the arms here. That will hold into place. So I'll make another mark there, because this might have to be forced inside. Good thing about foam is it kind of smushes and squashes and can be manoeuvred. Downside is that it squishes and squashes and can be manoeuvred, but it's not very forgiving against itself. So along here where I've already started putting the arms in, it might not want to play ball with me. Okay, I'm going to have to cut it in to go around the arm. The thing with this particular chair is everything, usually you bring everything to the back of the chair and then you put the inside in, but I actually have to put the inside back in place before I can get the inside arms in, which is really irritating. So I'll get that in first, I think. Staple that in, and then I'll work the top in later. There's not much I can do about that noise. Apart from the when it's pulled in, it should make less of it. Now I'm going to manoeuvre the dacron into place. And I'll cut round what needs to be cut round and push that down. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody is ever going to see this unless it's another upholsterer. And they might go, oh, what did they do that for? But this is a very old chair. So the way it's going in is like with modern ideas, not the way it was. Although I was taught traditionally, sometimes you just have to adapt. I'm going to cut that down so that fits. Just treat it like fabric, after all. And then I'll pop this down in here, take some of that bulk out. That goes around there, like that. And then I can do the same on this side. Move that up so that the one on the back can go into position. So, could have done this a different way around, but chose not to. Pop that down into there and sort that out in a minute.